Matthew 13 and 45. So the heading of this section of verses is called The Parable of the Pearl of Great Value. And this is Jesus teaching. He says, again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant in search of fine pearls, who, on finding one pearl of great value, went and sold all that he had and bought it. And that's it. Those two verses are the parable. The parable of the pearl of great price. So essentially, Jesus was making a series of parallels of what the kingdom of heaven is like. And in this particular case, he compares it to a pearl of great value. So as a merchant, he's going and he's searching for fine pearls. He's going through life. And, if he could just find one pearl or just find a few pearls, that was his mission. He was on a mission to find pearls. He found a pearl of great price. So much so that he was willing to sell everything that he had to buy it. And we probably heard this parable a million times, but it's like, wow, how great was this pearl? Now, I'm not a big, pearls are not all that flashy to me, but, imagine this pearl that this guy found, that he was willing to sell everything that he had. Like, what would you be willing to sell all that you had for? Like, what would it take for me to sell everything that I have in order to exchange for this pearl? It must have been very, very precious to him. And he took all that he had and he sold it. And that's what the kingdom of heaven is like. It's like a pearl of great, great price that we should strive to sell. We should want to sell everything we have, give everything away. These things on this fallen earth, which will eventually pass away, just as our very bodies will. We have to be willing to give all of this away to pursue Christ, because that is where true life is. That is where we can find eternal hope. We have all these nice things. We have the nice cars. We have the social status. We have friends. We have good jobs. And while we can, of course, we live our lives in whatever we do for the glory of God, whether we're a mega church pastor, preaching the word behind the pulpit, or even in our most menial tasks like doing laundry. I don't know. Whatever you do, you can do laundry to God's glory if you do it faithfully. And it might sound strange, but in everything we do, we can strive to honor God in what we do, in our work ethic, in our attitudes, in our relationships, even our business relationships. We can strive to serve God in all areas of our life. But still yet, we shouldn't cling to these things. We shouldn't cling to the things of this world. We have to be willing to sell all that we have, to abandon it in exchange for the kingdom, in exchange for this pearl of great price, in exchange for laying down our lives for our brothers. Because no greater love is this, for loving the Lord our God with all our heart, all our soul, and all our mind. Because he is what lasts. He's that great pearl that's Jesus is talking about here, the kingdom of heaven.